Hello and welcome to my channel Zucker Cooks. I'm Adela. In this video I'm going to show you how I make my gyros meat for the gyros pocket that we really like in my family. And basically, instead of making the complicated way that the authentic gyros are made of, I'm making a short way of making the meat with ground meat. And in this case, I'm mixing lamb with pork, ground lamb with ground pork, and you can use ground beef and pork, or ground beef and lamb, or like I'm doing, pork and lamb. I mean, or just lamb or just pork. It's up to you, however you like the flavors. So I have half a pound of ground lamb and a pound of ground pork for this recipe today. And I also have half an onion chopped, 4 cloves of garlic. I have oregano, thyme, marjoram, cumin, and rosemary from my garden. And this is dried rosemary from my garden. So salt and pepper. And I also started making the pita pockets in there on a separate video, but it's part of the gyros experience. So I hope you watch them both and you try it, and let's get it going. All right, so the pan is heating up. I'm going to add some olive oil, just a little bit. Add the meat, the ground pork and the ground lamb. Just break it up, mix it up. So the meat has been cooking for a little bit. It's a little brown at this point, and it's mixed up, the ground beef and the lamb. So now we're going to add the chopped onions, and the minced garlic. And when it comes to either onion or garlic, if you want to add more or less, that's totally up to you. It's preference. It's optional. Some people don't like to taste the strong. If the lamb flavor is strong, you can just add more spices or add less lamb. But I thought this ratio of 70-30 is pretty good when it comes to flavor. Not too strong with the lamb flavor, and the gyros has this unique flavor that you have to have a little lamb in it to make it close to authentic. But you can do it just with beef, or just beef and pork, or just beef and a little bit of lamb. That's just optional. All right, so we're gonna, at this point, we're gonna add the spices. So I got oregano, about a teaspoon. Got some thyme, about a teaspoon. Got some marjoram, about a teaspoon. And some cumin, about a teaspoon. And my rosemary from my garden. Smells so good. About a teaspoon as well. Then just let it cook. Oh, it's already smelling wonderfully. And basically, the way I like it, I let evaporate all the liquids that the meat is releasing, and with the onions and the garlic. And once it starts getting a little brown, it adds more flavor, and that's how I like it. So I'm gonna let it cook down for about 5-6 minutes, and we'll be back. All right, so here we have the meat is getting toasty. All the liquid has been absorbed, and see how it's catching some toasty color? That's all flavor, all flavor. So at this point, I add the salt, about 1.5 teaspoons, give or take, and some pepper. About another teaspoon. Give it another stir. All right. And this is good to go. Now, just before serving, I like to add feta cheese, and so it can melt a little bit with the meat just before serving. So I'll show you that as we get to that point. So we can turn this off and work on the pita pockets.